Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL lately, especially the AFC North, you know that the Cleveland Browns are sitting in a very intriguing position right now. It's the kind of situation that makes fans both excited and a little nervous, because it's all about the quarterback room, arguably the most critical position in football. And right now, the Browns have a roster that looks almost surreal in its complexity. Imagine this: 5 quarterbacks on the roster, with 4 of them healthy and ready to compete. That's not something you see every day, especially not in a franchise that's been trying to find stability at the most important position for years. This situation puts the Browns' front office in a very delicate spot. On the one hand, having this much depth at quarterback is a luxury, offering a lot of options and flexibility. But on the other hand, it raises some serious questions. Who will be the starting quarterback come game day? Will they keep all 5? Or will they be forced to make a trade, cut someone loose, or perhaps even stash a player on the practice squad? These are questions that have been swirling around Berea, and the answers aren't straightforward. Recently, Browns general manager Andrew Berry spoke to the media, and his comments shed some light on what's happening behind the scenes. Berry emphasized that everyone in the quarterback room will have to earn their spot, that competition is the name of the game. And that's music to the ears of fans who want to see a true battle on the field during training camp. Berry highlighted that players like SHEDEUR and Dylan Gabriel are eager for the chance to prove themselves, and that the team isn't making any assumptions about who will emerge as the starter. Instead, he made it clear that as long as both get the opportunity to compete during camp, the best player will earn the job. That's a refreshing approach, especially compared to some teams that might just hand the job to a veteran or a high draft pick without much contest. Berry was quite clear in his stance. According to Yahoo Sports, he said, "No," when asked if there was a guarantee that all 5 quarterbacks would make the roster. He went on to say, "The reality of it is everybody's got to compete. Everybody's got to earn their keep, so to speak." And he added something that really resonated. If a guy in the room is worried about who's been signed or traded, then perhaps he doesn't have the right mindset to be part of this team. That's the kind of mentality the Browns want. Someone who's focused, hungry, and ready to fight for a spot. Now, this isn't just talk. It's backed up by what we saw during OTAs and minicamps. The Browns didn't hold back. Young guys like Sanders and Gabriel got plenty of reps with the first team, but veterans also got their chance. The coaching staff clearly wants to keep all options open, and Berry emphasized that this flexibility extends beyond just the spring. In the NFL, often the starting quarterback gets most of the reps, with backups getting crumbs and third stringers almost no time. But the Browns seem intent on changing that narrative. Berry explained that the backup quarterbacks need to be ready to step in at any moment, and there's no reason why they shouldn't get enough reps during practice to prepare themselves properly. He said, "Oftentimes the thought in the NFL is like, okay, well your starter gets 70% of the reps, your backup gets 25% of the reps, and your third guy gets 5%. And the job of the backups is to be ready to play with no reps." But Berry believes that's a flawed approach, especially during the offseason when the team has more flexibility. The Browns are looking at ways to give backups more opportunities, more confidence, so that if they're called upon during the season, they're fully prepared. That's a strategic move that could pay off big time, especially if injuries or performance issues arise down the line. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. When asked about the possibility of carrying 5 quarterbacks on the roster, Berry didn't dismiss it outright. Instead, he admitted that it's something the Browns are seriously considering, and if all 5 perform well during training camp and preseason, they might just have a tough decision to make. Imagine that. 5 quarterbacks competing in the same room, all talented enough to make the team, and the coaching staff having to choose who stays and who goes. That's a scenario that could redefine how teams approach roster construction in the future. Barry was very clear about that. He said, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely if they all play well enough. And that's a bold statement, especially considering how rare it is in the NFL to see such depth at quarterback. Usually teams are desperate to find even one solid starter, let alone 5 capable players vying for a spot. But the Browns are in a different place. They've built a roster with a mix of seasoned veterans, promising young talent, and now these 5 quarterbacks eager to make an impression. Let's talk a bit about SHEDEUR Sanders. For those who might not be familiar, Sanders is coming into the NFL with a lot of buzz. He's a talented player, the son of legendary Deion Sanders, and he's been working tirelessly during the offseason to prove that he belongs at this level. Sanders has expressed a clear focus on being the best teammate he can be, both on and off the field. After practice, he talked about how he's trying to grow, learn from the veterans, and be as polished as possible in every facet of his game. He sees this offseason as a valuable window for development, understanding that he has time to mature, learn the playbook, and soak up knowledge from the older guys in the room. Sanders' mindset is exactly what the Browns want to see. He's not coming in with an entitled attitude, but with humility and a hunger to improve. That's crucial for a young quarterback trying to carve out a role on a team that's hungry for success. The Browns have a solid core of offensive weapons, including some emerging stars and proven veterans, and Sanders' development could be key to the team's future. But he's also aware that he's in a highly competitive environment, and he's preparing himself to seize whatever opportunity comes his way. The overall picture for the Browns' quarterback room is one of strategic depth and competition. They're not just loading up for the sake of it, they're building a room where every player has to earn their spot. That kind of environment fosters growth, pushes players to be their best, and hopefully results in the best possible outcome for the team. The coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, is known for its focus on development and adaptability, and that's exactly what they're demonstrating now. Looking at the broader context, the Browns have been on an upward trajectory. Since Kevin Stefanski took over as head coach in 2020, the team has shown marked improvement, making the playoffs in 2020 and 2021 and showing flashes of real potential. Their defense has been improving, and the offense has been steadily progressing, especially with the addition of new weapons and a more dynamic passing game. But it's really all about the quarterback position. If they can find stability there, the sky's the limit. The AFC North is no longer just a two-horse race. The Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and Pittsburgh Steelers are all formidable opponents, each with their own strengths and strategies. But the Browns have been quietly positioning themselves as a team that could challenge for divisional supremacy, especially if their quarterback situation works out in their favor. The competition among these 5 quarterbacks could be the catalyst that propels Cleveland to new heights, or, conversely, create some turbulence if not managed properly. There's also the question of how this depth at quarterback impacts the team's overall strategy. Will they keep all 5, or will they try to trade one for some additional help elsewhere? The Browns have shown in the past that they're not afraid to make bold moves, and with this much talent at the position, they might be tempted to shuffle the deck if someone emerges as the clear-cut starter early on. But for now, the focus is on competition, growth, and giving each guy a fair shot. In terms of expectations, Browns fans are rightfully optimistic but cautious. The team's recent history has been filled with ups and downs, but there's a sense that this could be the year they finally make a deep playoff run. The offense, led by a solid offensive line, a rising star at wide receiver, and a diverse running game, is poised to be more explosive. The question mark remains the quarterback position, but with this competition, the Browns might just find their answer in the mix. And let's not forget the importance of leadership and chemistry in the locker room. The veterans, including Deshaun Watson, who's been working hard to get back to his top form, and others like Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett, are the anchors of this team. Their presence and leadership will be vital in guiding the younger quarterbacks through this intense competition. It's a process that could either bring the team closer together or test their resilience, but the Browns' culture has always emphasized growth and unity, and that's what they'll be aiming for this offseason. So, as we look forward to training camp and preseason, all eyes will be on that quarterback room. Who will rise? Who will fall? And most importantly, how will the Browns navigate this unique situation to come out on top? The potential is there, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Cleveland fans are eager to see how it all unfolds because, deep down, everyone knows that a strong, confident quarterback can be the difference between a good team and a great one. The Browns have the pieces. Now it's about finding the right fit and building that winning confidence. Remember, this is just the beginning. The offseason is long, full of practices, evaluations, and tough decisions. But one thing is certain: the Cleveland Browns are not resting on their laurels. They're building a competitive, hungry team with a quarterback room that could redefine what's possible in Cleveland. And if all goes well, we might just be witnessing a new chapter in Browns history, one where the quarterback depth, competition, and resilience lead them back to the postseason, and maybe even a Super Bowl appearance. So, Browns fans, stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep supporting your team through every step of this exciting journey. The best is yet to come. And as always, I'll be here with all the latest updates, analysis, and insights to keep you ahead of the curve. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Browns are in a position to turn the page and write a new chapter. The quarterback competition is only the beginning. The team's draft moves, off-season acquisitions, and coaching strategies are all aligning to give Cleveland a real shot at contending in 2024. Fans are excited to see how this unfolds, and the hope is that this depth at quarterback will translate into stability and success. With the right mindset, the right coaching, and a bit of luck, the Browns could very well be the surprise team in the AFC this year. It's a fascinating time to be a Browns supporter, and the energy around Berea is electric. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Keep the faith, keep the passion, and let's see how this incredible story develops. Because one thing is for sure: the Browns are back in the conversation, and the best is yet to come.